Hey guys, it's Generalkidd here. How's everyone doing today? So, for today's video, I got a pretty special treat for you guys. We are going to be taking a look at the lost and forgotten Halo game, also known as Halo 4 King of the Hill. But more specifically, its full name is actually Halo 4 King of the Hill Fueled by Mountain Dew. But that's a pretty long name, so we're just going to be shortening it down to King of the Hill, or Halo 4 King of the Hill, for the sake of this video. So, if you thought that Halo Spartan Assault was the first Halo mobile game out there, well, you'd be wrong actually. There was actually one released around when Halo 4 came out, and that is this game. So, for this video, we'll be taking a look at that. So, to actually run this app, and this is actually really hard to find, so I do want to thank my friend CIA391, who also helps out the Halopedia. He actually managed to dig around and found the only place left on the internet that we know of that's still hosting the APK for this game. And of course I downloaded it, and it turns out you actually need a really old Android device to be able to run it, like that HTC Evo 3D I had. However, while it works on that, I could not record it properly, so I had to find something else to run it on. And through all my old devices, I found it also works on my Kindle Fire 7, the 2017 version, I believe. So anyways, since it works on that, let's get right into it and take a look. Let's start it up. So, while this loads up, and while we go through all the menus and stuff, to sum up what this game actually is, like what it's all about. So first of all, it was made by the developers Augmento and Kung Fu Factory. It was released for Android and iOS. And by Android and iOS, I mean like pretty old versions of it. I think like the optimal version is like Android 4 Ice Cream Sandwich, or maybe slightly newer like Jelly Bean, or a little bit higher than that, but not too new, otherwise it just won't work on Android. And as for iOS, this is like way back with like the iPhone 4 or something like that. So you can't find it on the app stores anymore. It's been taken down a long time ago. And actually here you can see on the main menu, we had the option to like register and log in. None of that will work. All the online services are down. So we can only play as a guest, which is actually really great that it even gives us that option. Otherwise we would not be able to get access to the app. But anyways, let's take a look at what's in this. So it's got armor customization during the initial setup. Although armor customization is a very loose term here. You're really just changing the armor color. And you can also select your emblem as well. And they have 9 emblems available to choose from. We're just gonna choose, we'll just choose the sword emblem, because I like the energy swords in Halo 3 and 2, so we'll just go with that. So that's basically the extent of your armor customization in this game. It's a far cry from the armor customization we have in the main Halo games, and even the original MCC. So anyways, you can see here, it tells you what your objective is in this game. You are to become the King of the Hill to earn double XP and other prizes for the actual Halo 4 game. So how does this work? Well, basically this game is a location-based augmented reality game for mobile devices. And it works by you capturing hills, which are actually 7-Eleven stores. You would go there, you would, check in on the app, and then you would capture it, and then you have to defend it from other players. Other players, they can, if you look at the map, like there's no map now because the service doesn't work, but when it did work, it would look something like this. You could see all the 7-Eleven stores near you. You could go to one. The longer you hold the hill, the more points you get, and those points you can redeem for unlockables in Halo 4. And then, of course, people can try to attack it, and then, doing like points and other challenges and stuff, you can keep your 7-Eleven or your hill alive. And if players fail, you get more points and stuff like that, or players can take it over. If that sounds familiar to you, that's because that's very similar to how the more popular Pokemon Go works. However, this game came out about 4 years before Pokemon Go came out. So essentially, Halo did Pokemon Go before Pokemon did. It never really caught on. I didn't even know this existed back in 2012, and I was a big Halo fan, but I was never aware of this existing. I would have actually like downloaded it, and I would have actually used it a lot because I was near quite a few 7-Elevens at the time, so I could have totally tried to hold some hills and get points for Halo 4 and stuff. But no, I was just never aware of it. It was I don't think it was like marketed very well, and you know the official trailer on YouTube from the developer, it only had like, I don't know, like less than 2,000, like a couple thousand views, I think. So I don't know, it just really wasn't well known. And then after like a few months, it yeah, like by January 2013, I believe that's when the app actually ended and everything stopped working for it and it was taken down. So you only had a few months to really use it, and then after that it was dead, and then people just forgot about it. And it was also taken down from the app stores too. And nobody even bothered, almost nobody bothered to back up the APK file for the Android version and, you know, the iOS version, if that's possible. Only one person did, like somewhere deep on the internet, on some forum, and, you know, thanks to my friend CIA, he actually found it, and now we had the opportunity to try it out. Like, I learned about this, like, the existence of this game not too long ago, and I really wanted to try it out, but it was like impossible to find. But here we have it. It works somewhat. Like I said, you need an old device to actually run it. If you have a relatively new device, it's definitely not going to work. But, you know, this game is complete with like prizes, medals, achievements. Not actual Xbox achievements, just in-game achievements. But as you saw earlier, I'm kind of just like, you know, talking as we go. But the, you know, the medals you get, the prizes, you can redeem your points for, you know, unlockables in Halo 4, like the Locust helmet, double XP, or unlockable skins for certain weapons in a game. So it was actually a pretty cool concept. And the gameplay is almost exactly like Pokemon Go. You know, when you hold a hill, you're essentially holding a gym in Pokemon Go, and people need to try to capture your gym or your hill, and when they take it over, they get points for holding it. So it's actually pretty funny that like Halo did all this before Pokemon Go did. Like, a lot of people think that Pokemon Go is like so revolutionary. It's like, it's the first of its kind, no one's ever done it before, but Halo beat Pokemon to it. Now, I don't know if Halo was the first to do something like that, a location-based augmented reality game, but I do know that they were definitely one of the first, because back in 2012, this is a really new concept, and before 2012, like, you know, I don't remember like every single app out there, but I don't think many other people did anything like this at all. Really, I think Halo 4 King of the Hill, despite the poor reception it got, and, you know, barely anybody like actually really using it, at least according to views on the trailers and stuff, despite all that, this game was pretty ahead of its time, all things considered. It's just, I just don't think it was marketed right, and it had quite a few limitations, and it was really used just mainly for advertising for a lot of it, like to get more points and stuff, to reload your weapons, to attack other hills, stuff like that. You'd have to scan, you know, bottles of Mountain Dew or bags of Doritos at 7-Eleven stores, which I don't know, I guess to some people that might seem a little fishy, like picking up every bag of Doritos in the store and scanning it. But that's basically how it worked, and that's basically the extent of it. But all that's left of the app now is just a shell of what it used to be. We could still browse through all the menus, we could see all the tutorials and tips, we could see the credits, actually all the people involved in it too. We could also, you know, see we could see our player model and stuff, we could see like a blank map, but there's really nothing left to it. And, you know, doing certain online actions will unfortunately freeze it, because like I said, all the servers are gone, none of them will work anymore. You can't, you know, you can earn bonus points, like you can see here, by inviting your friends to the game or the app, you can earn bonus points. But if I do that, it'll freeze, and I'll do something online in a bit to show you what happens. But I do want to get through most of the menu first before I crash or freeze the game. What's interesting is that after a while, when I back out to the map here, it does tell me there's a 7-Eleven store or a hill available about 2,395.1 miles away from me. But I don't think that's correct, and it's a very specific number too, but it's I don't know, I think it's just some default number that they have, because there's definitely a lot more 7-Elevens within 2,000 miles of me, for sure. But anyways, I'm sure that's just something that's like, you know, not actually working. But here, if I try to scavenge something, this is where, you know, I would scan items for more ammo to reload to attack hills or for points. As you can see, it just freezes my game, and I had to like cancel it. But if it did work, I would have this here, you know, to scan Mountain Dew bottles or bags of Doritos. And then when I have enough ammo, I can attack another person's hill. I gotta take down their shields, and once their shields are down, then I can basically take over the hill at that point. Or if I run out of ammo before their shields are down, then I essentially fail, and I believe if I fail, they get more bonus points. But yeah, so that's basically the extent of it. The rest of what's accessible in this is like some in-game tutorials. If you tap certain parts of the screen, you can't see my taps, but like if I tap the credits or if I tap the radar itself, it pops up these tooltips to tell me, you know, what's that all about. Explains how matches work, stuff like that. If you want to pause at each of these and read it, feel free to. But it's you know, it doesn't really matter because you can't actually play the game anymore. But it's still really cool that they added like a guest mode to the game, or like a demo mode, so to speak. Because if they made it so that you could only play it by logging in or registering, then I would never be able to get past that initial menu. And I was actually afraid of that before starting the app up and recording this, but as it turns out, I can actually browse through most of the app and game. Unfortunately, I can't show you any like real-time scanning or any of the battles because, you know, there's no hills left anymore, and the location thing doesn't even work. But yeah, so if you guys really want, I could post a link to the APK. You just need a very old Android device to run it, so I don't think most people can actually do it. But if you do want to try it out, you know, let me know, and you know, feel free to. There's not really much to do unless you want to just mess around with the armor customization, so to speak. But yeah, so that's basically it for this video. That is the Lost and Forgotten Halo game, Halo 4 King of the Hill, fueled by Mountain Dew. If you guys did enjoy this video and found it to be interesting, as always, make sure to leave a like. Leave your thoughts in the comments, any questions you have, anything else you want to look into, or anything you want me to check out, just let me know. But other than that, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all next time. Bye, guys.